Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be looking at and talking about the brand new successor chapters that have been introduced in the new Blood Angels supplement. Now we have one brand new one called the Blood Scythes, which are an Ultima founding successor chapter, so that means they are all Primaris Marines. But we have ones that have always been there in the lore, but they've only just got information and colour schemes and stuff like that now. So that is the Atlantian Spears, the Sable Knights, Blood Dragons, and the Cruor Blades. So let's jump in and let's take a look at these new successor chapters. So the first one we're going to talk about are the Blood Scythes, and when it comes to the Blood Scythes, it says that this is an Ultima founding chapter, just like Knights of the Chalice. Knights of the Chalice were a Blood Angels chapter that were announced with 8th edition, but the Blood Scythes weren't announced, so this is why these chaps are brand new. So it says an Ultima founding chapter. The Blood Scythes' first campaigns have been in the Red Scar, having been united with their brother chapters after Rebuta Guilliman brought the Primaris Marines to Baal. They have swiftly embraced the Blood Angels traditions and have rapidly earned a name for themselves as warriors of honor, upholding Sanguinius' codes of zeal of the newly converted. So we don't really have that much lore with them. The lore that we do have is that they are very, very Blood Angel-esque, and what it means by that is that some of the Primaris Marines that have joined the Blood Angels haven't really engage with the Blood Angel traditions, like the Blood Angels are all arty and stuff like that. They like drawing nipples on themselves, they like doing paintings and stuff. The reason they do that is to keep the Red First and the Black Rage, at bay and stuff. It relaxes them and stuff like that. But some of the ones who are coming off Guilliman's thing, they just saw this as a waste of time. So it's really, really nice to see that the Blood Scythes are actually, embracing their traditions of the Blood Angels and going with it. And it says here, they have, they're upholding Sanguinius codes of zeal, which is very, very nice. When it comes to the paint job, it's nice to see something that is not red. When you come to Blood Angel successors, 90% of the colour schemes that the Blood Angel successors have are just red. So it's nice to see them getting a white colour scheme. White is the colour I fear the most when it comes to painting. But I really do like it. I like the little chapter symbol with a scythe and the blood drop on it. I like the white and I like the black trim. I think it's really, really awesome. I think it's really, really nice. It kind of has that White Scar kind of reminder. Of course, White Scars have red trim rather than black trim. But they do have the red chest Aquila and stuff like that. But all in all, I love the colour scheme. I love the chapter. I love the name. And I love the symbol. So yeah, I really, really like this one. The next one is the Atlantian Spears. I love the name straight away. So it says the Atlantian Spears ignored Dante's call for aid. So this is a chapter that was around before the Primaris Marines, but we never knew about. Well, I never knew about them. I'm not sure about you chaps. Have you chaps ever heard of the Atlantian Spears before? I cannot recall ever seeing the Atlantian Spears or the colour scheme, which we'll go into a second. So it says the Atlantian Spears ignored Dante's call for aid, bunch of bastards. The chapter's large librarians received the message, but took no action. Oh boy. For millennia, the chapter have fought to pacify the enclave of Alcana. Is that, am I pronouncing that right? Alcinia, I think Alcinia, and the sanctuary of Constania in the Segmentum Tempestus. Tempestus, bloody hell, I'm tripping over my words. Relying on the gift of foresight present in the unusual number of librarians to respond to the innumerable Xenos and heretics threat that terrorize the vast regions. So first things first is the colour scheme. I am in love with the colour scheme. I don't know why, but teal colour schemes really get me going. I know it's a strange thing to say. I love the gold, and that's why I do Reclaimers. I love gold colour schemes and stuff like that, so I really do like the teal and gold going together. I love the golden helmets. I think that's really cool. When it comes to the chapter symbol, it instantly reminds me of Spears of the Emperor. Do you know the chapter that Aaron Dembski-Bowden's just recently written about? I know they were an old chapter, but he's basically brought them into life and give them this kind of barbarian kind of feeling. So yeah, it's nice to see they're represented now on the tabletop. But yeah, that's where their symbol instantly their symbol looks the kind of Spears of the Emperor, so maybe some Spears of the Emperor fans could clash among that. But yeah, all in all, I love the colour scheme. Now, when it comes to the lore, I think this is the most interesting thing, is that these chaps obviously were around, as I mentioned, before the Primaris came into it, and they chose to ignore Dante's call when he needed all the Sons of Sanguinius to return to Baal. Maybe that could set up some storylines in the future, you are the Sons of Sanguinius, and you refuse to come to Baal's aid, to your gene lineage's aid to protect his sanctum, to protect his people and stuff like that. I think that could be pretty cool. You know, Blood Angels, how dare you? You're not welcome in this segmentum or this sector, or maybe they just don't get along with Blood Angels. That could be pretty awesome. And if we move on to the Cruor Blades, it says, a loyal member of the Sanguinary Brotherhood, the Cruor Blades have been overwhelmed with guilt since their failure to reach Baal before it came under siege. That is an awesome contrast with the other chaps. Now, on a self-imposed crusade of penance, their fleets sweep the Red Scar to purge it of Tyranids and plunge into the hell of the Imperium Nifilus. They are determined to restore the light of the Imperium and spread the word of Dante's appointment as regent. I absolutely love the story of these chaps already. Like, unlike the Atlantian Spears, who just didn't give a toss if they reached Baal or not, like they didn't care if Baal fell, these chaps were actively trying to get to Baal, but they failed, and they took it on themselves to go on a penance crusade because of their failure. Now they're out just purging Tyranids by the bloody thousands and stuff like that. Dante's appointment as regent is another big thing that's not really spoke about a lot, and to see these chaps actively going out there and saying, hey everyone, Dante's regent now of the North, you better behave yourself, I think that is really cool as well. So it's nice to see that, you know, they're like representing Dante in his appointment, and you know, they took it on themselves to go on that penance crusade and, you know, purge as many Tyranids as possible. Now, another thing with these chaps is their colour scheme. Now, if you're thinking, where have I seen this colour scheme before? Am I going insane? You're not going insane. This colour scheme is more or less a one-for-one reference with the Knights of Blood. Actually, their chapter symbol is actually nearly a one-for-one reference for the Knights of Blood as well. The only thing that's different is that the Knights of Blood have red on their backpack, while these chaps just have a full silver backpack. If you want to go and check out about the Knights of Blood and their amazing last stand, I actually did a video about them a couple of days ago as they took part actually in the devastation of Baal. Maybe it's a good thing they never took part in the devastation of Baal, since people may have confused these with the Knights of Blood and, you know, shunned them and not gone near them at all. Now, the next one is the Blood Dragons, and I actually thought the Blood Dragons were already lore established, but apparently not. I've done some research online. I've asked people before. A lot of people are saying that these are like a Warhammer fantasy related thing. So the Blood Dragons are a new chapter when it comes to the Blood Angels. So it says here, the Blood Dragon's name is one feared rather than celebrated by many Imperial worlds. The silhouette of their many gunships are not a sign of the Emperor's deliverance, but imminent doom, for the Blood Dragons care little for the citizens of the Imperium. Instead, they desire nothing less than total extermination of the Emperor's foes, believing he will save the souls of the innocent and destroy those of the guilty. So this chapter probably has some of the most interesting lore out of all the chapters that we've mentioned so far, because these chapters go in and absolutely annihilate everything. They really have that Marines Malevolent vibe, where they just go in and level like a hab block, even though civilians are in there, just to get the job done, just to destroy the enemy. I really like how it says here, like, the Emperor's foes, like, believing he will save the souls of the innocent and destroy those of the guilty. So they'll just go in and, like, you know, flame an entire hab block, and, you know, if you don't come out burning, that means you're innocent in the eyes of the Emperor, which we all know is kind of crappy thing to do. But yeah, I really do like the contrast that these chaps are different from the Blood Angels, like the noble Blood Angels, you know, they're for humanity, some of the greatest, you know, space marines that the Emperor has, and these chaps are just completely of the other end of that scale. I'll just come in and just annihilate, and like the forces that they show up to like help are like, oh no, we don't want these guys are just going to kill us all and judge us in the eyes of the bloody Emperor. When it comes to their colour scheme, as you expect from the Blood Angels, red colour scheme. I like the black trim. I'm not sure if these chapter codex starters, I wouldn't be surprised if they were. When it comes to his chest piece, I think that is gold. I'm going to go with gold. He has the yellow knee pad with the red blood drop on it again. Contrast, looks nice. And the chapter symbol is a dragon's head, and there's a little bit of blood dripping from one of its teeth. So yeah, it goes along with the Blood Dragons because it's a dragon and it is dripping blood. Who would have thought? And the next chapter we're going to talk about is the Sable Knights. Now, please excuse me for the quality of this one. I'm sorry, it's not the best, but the colour scheme is black and it's red, but we'll get onto the colour scheme in a second. So the Sable Knights, much like the Blood Dragons, I thought these were a lore-established chapter already. I did the research. They're apparently not. The only thing that comes up is the Sable Swords, which are definitely not these chaps. So the Sable Knights, it says, the ebon painted onto much of the Sable Knight armour represents their acknowledgement that the flaw resides in all. all. Determined to make most of their time before the black rage consumes them, the chapter is fleet-based, racing from war to war. In battle, their warriors favour armoured spearheads and fleets of transports, so best to engage the enemy as quickly and ferociously as possible. Now, the colour scheme, again, I'm sorry about this one, the quality is not the best, but take it from me, it is black, the legs are black, the chest piece is black, the arms are red, the pauldrons are red with a black trim, the helmet is red and the backpack is red. The chapter symbol is 3 blood drops all in white, so it contrasts onto the red. Decent colour scheme. I think out of all of them though, out of all these chapters, I'd think I have to go with the Atlantian Spears. It was a hard one between the Blood Scythes or the Atlantian Spears, but I really do like that teal kind of green, and I love like the gold helmet on those chaps. Gold, like anything with gold on, I'm literally sold for. But I'd love to get your thoughts and feedback on this. So those 4 chapters, the Sable Knights, the Blood Dragons, the Cruor Blades, the Atlantian Spears, and the Blood Scythes. Blood Angel fans, do you love them? Do you hate them? Do you like the lore like they've given them? Do you think it makes it them stand out apart from their brothers? Post it all down below, and we'll have a nice little chat down there as we always do. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. See you now. Have a great day, and bye-bye.